What's up, guys? My name's Luke. I'm 20 years old, currently a student and working. And yeah, I'm here today to share my story with you guys, hoping that it can help you guys, help family, friends, whoever. Yeah. I like chocolate. I've got a tattoo obsession. I like dad jokes. What else? Let's see. Don't know. But yeah, that's stuff about me. So I'm gonna start off with my story. So I grew up in a very broken home. From a young age, I was always left to defend myself, be there for my mom and my sister, and be my mom and sister's protector. I had a dad who was quite abusive and abused substances, which often led to him taking out his problems on my mother in particular, whether it either be verbal abuse, anger, rage, whatever the case may be. And I always, from a young age, tried to stand in and take that away and try to be the man of a house. So from a very young age, I was forced to sort of grow up earlier than I wanted to, but I didn't have a choice. And this essentially led to my parents' divorce. So when I was 9 years old, to be exact, my parents got divorced. And for many years, even still to this day, I still think, I might be guilty for that. And I feel like it's my responsibility. It's just something I've always done, just have to carry the weight. And I feel like it's always necessary that I do carry the weight. So yeah, essentially this led to my dad and I drifting away. He wasn't the greatest father. As I said before, he abused substances. He was very angry and aggressive due to the substances that he was taking. And that's what happened, and that's why it led to the divorce, because my mom couldn't take it anymore and she wanted to protect myself as well as my sister. So she decided to remove us from that. So this led to very tough times, because obviously my sister and I had to stay with my mom, because it wouldn't be, let's say, cool if we stayed with my dad. So essentially what happened is my sister and I moved into one of my mom's friends' houses that was busy being sold. So essentially we lived there on blow-up mattresses, pretty much eating lentils for nearly about a year. And we really weren't financially stable due to the divorce. A lot of things got taken by my dad and got taken away from us. So it put us in a very poor financial state. So it was just very tough growing up, never getting everything that you want. And I know I sound like spoiled, but we couldn't get what we wanted. It was also living off the very bare minimum and everything like that. So after we lived in that house for a while on blow-up mattresses and everything like that, then we finally found another house, but it was the domestic workers' quarters of one of my mom's other friends. So this led to my mom, my sister, and I sleeping on a double bed in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom place for about, I can't even remember how long it was. But essentially we stayed there. And then eventually after that, we moved to Roodepoort, which was a bit bigger for my mom, my sister, and I. So living conditions were better then. But obviously we still had to deal with all the issues regarding my parents' divorce and everything that happened when we lived with my dad, my father. So this is the foundations of a very tough story for me, and it's tough for me to share this with people because it makes me vulnerable and I'm exposing myself. So that's why I hope that you take everything I'm saying to heart today, and that it can help you if you're in the same position or know of someone in the same position. So all of these factors essentially led to a very broken childhood, coming from the abusive home. Not great living conditions, but I was always thankful because we had a roof over our head. Then as growing up later on in my life, I started to become very depressed, suicidal, to the point where my mother didn't know if I was going to reach the age of 16 whether I was going to live to see my 16th birthday. So essentially I tried to commit suicide about 2 or 3 times, whether it be self-harm, slitting my wrists, whatever it may be. Just a whole lot of darkness that I was surrounded in. So this landed me up in many different hospitals, whether it be normal general practitioner hospitals, or whether it be mental psychiatric wards. And essentially I got put on 24-hour surveillance watch. I sort of lived in a glass cubicle for a while, being watched by nurses and doctors 24/7, just due to my high suicide risk. After that, I got dismissed from the hospital, but life had changed. I'd been diagnosed with many different conditions at that stage. At that stage, it was mainly depression, which was my main diagnosis, just severe depression. And this changed life for me because I knew I was different from other people. It's never nice hearing that you've been diagnosed with this or that. So life at school changed for me. There were many days at school where, I'd feel alone and whatever, and then I'd hurt myself at school as well. It was just a repeating cycle. It was just going round and round and round. And then sort of my grade got told what was happening to me. Many people were aware of it. It was just a very tough time. It was almost like being the black sheep wherever I went of the group. So that's what happened then. After that, I was stabilized on medication. Things were good. I was progressing with my life. I was making progress with my diagnosis, my conditions, and everything like that. Then actually recently, about 2-3 weeks ago, I just came out of another psychiatric ward. So essentially I relapsed, which led me to self-harm once again. And it landed me back in hospital. Once again under 24-hour surveillance, a new team, so a new psychiatrist, psychologist, neurologist, occupational therapist, and they diagnosed me with new conditions. So currently I'm diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, severe depression and anxiety. I was also at one stage, I think nearly a year ago, diagnosed with epilepsy, and they said I had PTSD epilepsy, and then recently they discovered that it was a false diagnosis and I don't have epilepsy, thank goodness. But once again, it's almost nearly living a year with being told you have epilepsy, which meant I couldn't, do my passion, which was play rugby. So I couldn't play rugby for a year, just purely based on this diagnosis. But luckily they found out that it's inaccurate. It's not what it is. But it did make the process easier being in hospital. These conditions and these cases are very hard, especially for your family and the people around you, such as your girlfriend's family, best friends, everything like that. It's not easy for them either, especially when they know that your life is so fragile and that you could take it at any time. So it's been really difficult coping with all of this. It's been tough. So I want to tell you about my standpoint in terms of religion and God through all of this. So from a very young age, I was raised in a Christian household. Besides the facts of abuse and all of that, we were raised to be Christians. So we went to church from a young age, always taught to pray from a young age, be a good, diligent little Christian boy. So growing up with that, that was my belief system. That's where I stood. And then probably my most real encounter with God or religion was at the age of 16, when I was inside of the mental clinic. There was just a lot of signs. I used to pray to God, like, God, why? Why me? Why do I have these conditions? Why is it so hard? Why is life so difficult? Is life worth living? Why did you put me here? What is my purpose? It's all these questions. It's just questions. And throughout that process, I actually became closer with God in questioning my belief system and my religion. So essentially, I can't actually remember the Bible verse, but when I was in hospital, I believe things work in threes. And this one Bible verse came to me through my psychologist. I saw it written down somewhere, and I believe it was in a book as well. And that was just a sign to me that, God is watching me, and that just gave me reassurance, because stuff like that doesn't just happen coincidentally. Besides this, I do have a good relationship with God, I believe. I do still question Him still to this day, with regards to my conditions, what I've been through trying to take my life. I ask Him, it's not fair. I don't feel like it's fair, given the circumstances and what I've been put through. I don't understand it. But at the end of the day, it reminds me that all of this stuff that I have been through, the depression, the anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar, the whole lot, all of this, I believe, was almost given to me as not a burden, but a gift from God. I believe He's given me these conditions to live with and, fight through life with, purely so I could help other people in that position. Because going through the whole hospital system, the clinics, everything like that, I've met amazing people who make my story sound, like it's a fairy tale. Some people have some real problems. Sorry, lost my train of thought. So some people have some real problems that make yours seem inadequate, or not that bad at all. But that's why I believe God's given me these conditions, so that I can help other people in that position and in those predicaments, such as, for example, this video right now. I couldn't be here telling you guys my story today if it wasn't for my conditions and what I've been through. So I believe that it's my gift to help other people and to try and show them my standpoint. So yeah.